What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda. I apologise, these are coming out a little bit later than normal. I made a mess up, which meant I had to go and re-record, so that's on me. What we're going to do is go through, as always, give the players, the substitutes and the manager a score out of 10, asking you guys to play along at home and let us know if you agree or disagree. If you enjoy the video, please do drop a like and hit that subscribe button. But all in all, thank you for your support of the channel. And I'm still frustrated after that game, I can't lie. We went into a 3-1 lead and capitulated when the changes were made. And again, it leaves us with lots of questions. So, before I go through and give you guys my scores, just got to give you a quick word from our sponsors. We are proudly brought to you with thanks to our amazing sponsors, Manscaped. As you can see on the screen, use the code ANFIELD20 at checkout to get yourself 20% off and free shipping. That is 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. Whether it's the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra that you can see on screen, featuring the Lawnmower 5.0, which is waterproof, which has the skin-safe technology protecting your family jewels, and has the brightest ever LED spotlight, or the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer, the boxer briefs, the liquid formulations, or the shed travel bag. All of it can be yours for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com by using the code ANFIELD20. So, right, let's get into it. Alisson Becker. I'm worried about these rumours surfacing over and over again around Alisson and a move away, and I hope there's no truth to them. But his performance today wasn't of his usual high standards. And I'm more talking about with the ball at his feet. Could he have done much with the goals? Well, certainly not the second and third one, although his position was questionable for the third one, but it did loop up and over him. I just think he can be better, and he needs to be better. So with that in mind, I'm going to give him an honest score and give him a 6. Usually I'm a lot higher with Alisson because I'm a huge fan, but today he wasn't great and certainly wasn't filling us full of confidence when we needed a calm, reassuring presence at the back when Villa were pushing late on. Next up is Trent AlexanderArnold, another player who today has been linked with a move away, this time Real Madrid. I've got to say, I thought this was a fairly poor performance from Trent. We speak often about the space vacated on the right hand side, and for their first goal today, it was Trent who was in an advanced position, but we turned over possession. And so many times we give the ball away and give opposition teams a chance to get at us, and they usually end up going down that right side. Kwanzaa, I don't know what he was doing with the Ollie Watkins situation. Shouldn't have let him get goal side, and then shouldn't have let him get the cross in. But Trent, just not at it today. Just one of the last actions of the game was a lackadaisical pass on the right hand side of the pitch that went straight out of play rather than 3 or 4 yards to his teammate. And that sums up exactly what I'm talking about. Just switched off, not focused, and not good enough. So Trent today gets a score of 5 out of 10. Next up, Kwanzaa, as I mentioned, did make that mistake, and I do class it as a mistake, and it's not one of those mistakes that I think you can put down to stepping up to senior football, because this is stuff that you would have got taught all the way through, and he shouldn't have allowed Watkins to get goal side. He definitely should not have let that cross get in, but on top of that, he did finish the game better. Scored himself a great goal as well. I'm delighted from on that one. And I've no doubts about him moving forward. He just needs to be a little bit stronger. Ollie Watkins bullied him in that situation. And there was almost a similar situation on the opposite side a little bit later that Virg dealt with by blocking the cross. I think he should have done better there. So with that in mind and accounting for the goal he scored, I'm going to give him a score today of 5 out of 10. It probably would have been a little bit lower, only for the goal, and it was a great goal, so well done, Joel, on that. Next up, our captain. And I say that still believing that he shouldn't be the captain. And it's nothing to do with his footballing ability, because Virgil, as a centre-back, his ability speaks for itself. But he's a leader, and he's supposed to be marshalling the back line and leading the team. And there's been way too many capitulations that have wound me up recently, and Virgil's been on the pitch when they've happened. So whether you think he's the greatest captain in the world, or you're like me who thinks he's a great player but don't have much faith in his captaincy, it's still winding me up. How can we not go away from home, score 3 goals and win a game? The fact we've conceded 3 again is not good enough, and he's the leader of the back line. I do think he was the better of the 2 centre-backs today, but he should be. He's the experienced international leader who's won it all in the game. So for me, I'm going to give him a score today of 6, but I want more, especially from our captain. Next up is Joe Gomez, who stepped in obviously because of a niggle that Andy Robertson had. He should be okay for Sunday, according to Lewis Steele. But look, I've not got much negative to say about Joe. I like Joe, and I think Joe's versatility has been helpful. Obviously got himself an assist today as well. Shame he couldn't get on the score sheet, but we're just not good enough defensively overall, and it doesn't really matter who's on the pitch. So, we've got to hold them accountable. I'm going to give Joe a score today of 6 out of 10. Into midfield, the biggest compliment I'm going to be able to give Witho Endo today is the fact that you've seen how important he was as soon as he went off the pitch. And gaps appeared and Villa were able to just waltz through the middle of the park without anybody challenging them or checking them. And you could see the difference between McAllister, who was a very, very, very fine midfielder and footballer, but not a defensive midfielder, and Witho Endo. So for me, I think Endo was one of the best players on the park today for us. You guys voted him and Elliott joint man of the match in the Anfield Agenda poll afterwards. So I'm going to give him a score today of 8 out of 10. And as I said, you notice his importance when he wasn't on the pitch. Next up, Alexis McAllister, who I think we will all agree is a fine footballer and has many years ahead of him in a Liverpool shirt that will be positive. Today, unfortunately, wasn't one of those days. The individual error that led to Aston Villa's second goal, I believe, where Virgil passed it to him. He took a heavy touch, opened up his body, and that allowed Villa to take possession and score from it. And then again, just being absent as Villa walked through our midfield for the third goal, it's just not good enough, and Alexis will know that. I'm not going to go into too much because I'm a fan of Alexis McAllister, but today I'm going to give him a score of 5 out of 10, and I think that's more than fair. Right, we move on to Harvey Elliott, who had a good game today again. I think he deserves a place in the starting 11, and I think he's going to keep getting better and better and better. And I'm glad that many people are starting to now wake up to how good Elliott is, especially when you contrast them to the performances of Jones, who has been getting starts up until recently. It's about time Elliott got his respect, and I think he had a good game today. Yeah, I think it was good. I think, as I said, you guys voted him joint man of the match. For me, I would have had him maybe just a little bit behind, as somebody else I think should have been up there with Endo for man of the match. But still a good performance from Elliott, and I'm going to give him a score today of 7 out of 10. Next up, Mr. Lucho Diaz. I'm frustrated. Not because of a lack of effort, because he'll run forever for you, and he always puts in a shift for the team, and you'll never ever see him wanting in that department. But again, decision making, execution of that final ball just leaves a lot to be desired. I am still seething over that ball that he overhit to Mohamed Salah for a couple of reasons. One, because Mo was busting a lung to get up there with him, and two, because anybody who's played football will know the margin for error that he had in that pass was huge, and he still overhits it and he still drags Mo wide, and the chance fell away. And that sums it up for me. That's the frustration with Diaz. For all the cutting inside, going past players and working hard, there are those moments that just leave you scratching your head. I think we can do a bit better in that left wide position. And today I'm going to give Diaz a score of 6 out of 10. Mohamed Salah is next up. Blunt. Past it. Frustrating. Not all bad by any means. Like, again, there was some good interplay, some good 1-2s, a nice ball into Szoboszlai as well. But I'm just of the mindset now that it is time. It is time for Liverpool and Mohamed Salah to part ways. And I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me, but it's just not happening at the minute. And what he did in the past is unquestionable. But today, again, I just felt like he was meh. I think his best days are done. I honestly do. And I think we need to look to the future. Whether that's Mo getting increased competition with a younger player coming in, I don't know. But I'm not as in love with the man as we all were. I think, we have to be ruthless about this and make some tough decisions in the summer. So today I'm going to give Mo a score of 6 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts. Next up, Mr. Cody Gakpo, who I think has grown into the season in the latter part of it. And again, today I thought he looked very comfortable out there. Got himself a goal. And I'm happy for him, because he went through a tough period where there were lots of people who were just saying he wasn't good enough. I think he just needs to get that run of games, feel confident in his positioning and what the manager wants from him. And I think Arne Slot coming in will be a good thing for him as well. Today, I mentioned earlier, there were two players I would have thought were right up there for man of the match. One of them was Endo. The other one was GAKPO for me. So I'm giving him a score today of 8 out of 10. Curtis Jones. Look, let's be honest. Can we be honest? He's not good enough. Yes, he had a spell, but that seems to be an anomaly rather than the norm. And there's long been the debate, if he wasn't a Scouser, would he still be at the club? And I don't know the answer to that, but I do feel comfortable enough in saying that he has had long enough now. And more often than not, he hasn't been up to it. There was a spell where he made a lot of us eat humble pie, and I was very happy to do it. But it now looks like he's returned back to his older ways. So I don't think, if we're being honest with ourselves, he's the calibre that we need. So somebody said in the chat, if a 30 million quid offer came in, they'd take it. I'd be interested to know in the comments what you guys think. For me, today, going to give him a score of 4. I thought he was abject when he came on. Other than the weak shot that he played or took that Emi Martinez could have thrown a hat on, I don't know what else he did when he came on the pitch. Dominic Soly. I seen some promising stuff when he came on. Again, some nice 1-2 with Salah. Angle was against him, couldn't lift it over Emi Martinez. And look, I know one thing. He is better than we have seen from most of the season. He started off really well, and for whatever reason, he seemed to have faded away as the season went on. I hope the new manager coming in can find a role that really brings the best out of him, because I do rate him as a player. Today, I'm giving him a score of 5 out of 10 for his cameo from the bench. Ryan Gravenberch, and I really don't mean to say this to be disrespectful. I don't actually know if he touched the ball after he came on, because it didn't feel like we did very much other than concede after those changes were made. I know that there was the Darwin incident, which we'll move on to speak about, but again, Gravenberch's another one that I feel no problem, stay at the club, big future ahead of him. Definitely worth persisting with, young player looking to get more minutes on the pitch, and I feel like he should have been starting more games than he has done. But today when he came on, my genuine opinion is I don't remember him really doing anything, and I'm open to be corrected if I'm wrong on that, but I'm going to give him a score of 5 out of 10. And now to Mr. Darwin Nunes, who I still cannot believe what I seen posted from Sky on their live feed about him missing a chance, and then Sky saying he was born offside. If you're a fan and you're bantering with that, that's one thing. But for an outlet who preaches to want to stamp hate out of the game and tells the rest of us what our morals should be, I found it quite frankly disgusting. But that being said, there's a big decision to be made over Darwin Nunes. For me, I think if Klopp was staying, I probably would be on the side of look to cash in. But with a new manager coming in, maybe something changes there. Maybe Arne Slot can unlock something, build a confidence, because we know what he's capable of when he puts it all together. But it can also be frustrating. I still doesn't sit well with me that he deleted the Liverpool pictures, but that type of stuff from Sky is only going to lead to more hate and anger and frustration coming his way, and I'm truly disgusted by it from Sky. But for Darwin, I would persist for another season. And I think that there is a player in there that can be unlocked if he's managed, if he's developed in the right way. I say develop because I think different players respond to different styles of management. And I don't know the ins and outs of the relationship between him and Kloppo, but I do think he's worth persevering with for one more season at least. Today, though, a score of 4 because, let's be honest, much like others when he came on, he didn't really add anything to the game. Last up is Jurgen. I don't know if it's his fault or the players who came on's fault, but I do know that we've made lots of changes recently in games and gone backwards when the changes have been made. We were in a comfortable 3-1 position today, and to capitulate and end 3-3 just again is frustrating. I'm more frustrated though because I'm sick of hearing from the players about the way they want to send the manager off. Their actions are leaving a lot to be desired, and I'm looking forward to hopefully a good win and Jurgen getting the admiration from Anfield that he deserves, as well of course as his evening at the M&S Bank Arena. And I can't thank him enough for his time at the club. Today though, those changes had a negative impact, and I'm going to have to give him a score of 6 out of 10. So that is the player ratings, my friends. Now it's over to you. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. See you then. Bye-bye.